And the opening service of the maiden edition of the National Health Summit of the Church of Nigeria marked the beginning of an epoch-making event in the church's history, having the theme Health Prosperity in the Decade of God's Reign. ACNN News correspondent Abosede Taiwo has the report.
The maiden edition of the Church of Nigeria Health Summit, having the theme Health Prosperity in the Decade of God's Reign, taken from 3 John 2, and sub-theme The Church of Nigeria and Universal Health Coverage, began with a Holy Communion service at the St. Matthias House, Gudu, Abuja, National Secretariat of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion. The service, which was presided over by the Primate of all Nigeria, the Most Reverend Dr. Henry Ndukuba, had archbishops and bishops in attendance, as well as health professionals from all around the country. In his sermon, the preacher, the Right Reverend Ikeakor, the Bishop of Amici, emphasized on the need of being healthy both spiritually and physically. He also called on all not just to work for God, but to walk with God.
We have a serious issue at hand. That 90% of the church's ministry now is anchoring on the pulpit evangelism. Many places we are neglecting the institutional evangelism. So if you look at the epistle of the elder John to Gaius and the church, if you look at that verse 2, it is full of deep meanings and challenges. If you read it in Old King James, it says, I willed above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers. Prosperity, of course, even though it has been skewed to mean a different thing about financial breakthrough. But the simple meaning of prosperity is wellness, wholeness, and soundness. Because Gaius had devoted himself as a committed church member, he saw that the spiritual prosperity of Gaius and the church was directly proportional to their physical health prosperity. Spiritual prosperity of every church or Christian is directly proportional to the health prosperity. Because if you are not well, no matter how heavily anointed and gifted you are, I don't think you can perform. So health is cardinal to our ministry, central to the gospel we preach. Don't allow serving God to be a distraction to your salvation. Jesus is still standing at the door. It doesn't matter how long you have been in the church. It doesn't matter the position you occupy. But don't work for God without first of all working with God. He will order your steps. He will give you a guideline. He will provide the template. And ultimately, He will reward you with eternal life.
The service featured Boys Brigade Parade, song renditions by the St. Matthias House Chapel Choir, prayers, and many more.
Ourselves and all Christian people to your unfailing love. Merciful Father.
The summit is expected to run from the 13th to the 16th of August 2024. Abosede Taiwo reporting for ACNN News.